Welcome to the Disney World game that had our DFB team completely divided. Today's matchups bring out the best in classic Disney ride rivalries: dark rides versus water rides versus coasters versus flying theaters, and more. By the end of the video, we're going to know which Animal Kingdom ride is the best of the park, even if it's left some of our DFB team demanding a recount. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blocks. It's time for our single elimination ride competition in Animal Kingdom. Now, if you haven't already seen our other bracket competitions, that's okay. You don't have to watch them first in order to understand what's going on here, but I'll give you a quick recap of how we're deciding which rides are going to move forward in today's bracket. Keep in mind that the ultimate goal of today's showdown is more about showcasing the highlights and pitfalls for each Animal Kingdom ride versus one of the rides actually winning. But don't worry, one of the rides will actually win. And to keep things a little more fair, we'll also be determining who wins each round based on 3 specific categories. How well does the ride tell a story? How hard does the Imagineering go? And how does it factor into Animal Kingdom being a must-see vacation destination? The winners are going to be decided by our entire DFB team, and not just one or two of us, to make sure the majority say is the final say for each round. Now, one extra note before we get started, because there aren't many rides in Animal Kingdom, as in there's literally only 6 as of right now, since Triceratops Spin and Primeval Whirl have been removed to make way for Animal Kingdom's future Tropical Americas section. The rides in Pandora, World of Avatar are going to receive an automatic bye to the next round, so we'll see them compete later on in today's competition. Also in today's competition, rides are classified as things that move and have one designated loading area, so the Wildlife Express train will not be featured in our tournament. And now, let's get ready to rumble. Round 1, here we go. Dinosaur versus Expedition Everest. Oh my goodness, 2 major heavy hitters right at the start. Now, we've got 2 unique ride systems that still manage to get our hearts racing and make us feel like we're in deep peril when we're in the thick of them. Expedition Everest is Animal Kingdom's one and only coaster that'll send you into the mountains, speeding backwards, taking on sharp embankments, plummeting down the mountain, all while trying to escape the clutches of a rather cranky Yeti who's tearing apart your roller coaster track and apparently eating all of your hair bands. I don't know, all I'm trying to do is keep my lunch down usually when I'm riding this one. And while Dinosaur might not be a coaster, it still manages to bring on the thrills as you board your time rover and it zaps you back to the prehistoric era where you're taking on rough terrain and coming face to face with friendly dinos? Maybe some not so friendly dinos. Unfortunately, though, our time with Dinosaur is fleeting since it will be closing at the end of 2025, beginning of 2026 to make way for a new Indiana Jones themed attraction. But we're still happy to have it be a part of today's competition because it's a tough competitor who we are going to miss dearly, even though most of the time when I ride it, I have my ears and my eyes closed because I'm terrified. Now, both rides tell a story of danger and thrills and escaping with your life by a hair, though I'll argue Dinosaur's plot is a lot more straightforward thanks to Dr. Seeker's pre-show. Your mission, go back in time, get an iguanodon for science, and get back to present time. Of course, things rarely work out so smoothly when you're messing with time travel, and the moment Dr. Seeker says those 4 dreaded words, what could go wrong? You'll automatically know that everything is about to go wrong. As far as Imagineering is concerned, this is a tough category because both of these rides show off some impressive tech and theming throughout their stories. On Dinosaur, you got several fully operational and ginormous dinosaurs that you're going to encounter during the ride. And on Expedition Everest, you've got a Disco Yeti. Okay, to be fair, Betty the Yeti is still one impressive looking beast of the mountain, but back when Expedition Everest first opened in 2006, she was the biggest audio animatronic out there. So big, in fact, that her existence was kind of ruining the very foundation of the Expedition Everest mountain. So she remains stagnant to this day, only brought to life by her constant strobe lights, which is why she's been nicknamed Disco Yeti by Disney fans worldwide. But beyond the Yeti frozen in time, you still can't ignore the rest of the theming throughout this ride, from the intricate artifacts that come directly from Nepal to the scaling mountain itself. While many longtime Animal Kingdom fans are going to be making a trek out to this park soon to get one last ride through on Dinosaur before its extinction, and hopefully wearing our super cool Dinosaur t-shirts available on the dfbstore.com website to fully pay their respects for this ride while they still can, Expedition Everest is one of those iconic Disney coasters that truly stands the test of time. It pushes the boundary of being terrifying, but not overly so, There are no giant loop-de-loops in the track or 0 to 60 launches, yet the thrills still manage to be more intense than you might find on newer coasters like Tron in Magic Kingdom or even Cosmic Rewind in Epcot. It's a tough call, but the DFB team eventually came to an agreement on this one, and Expedition Everest is moving on to the next round. Sorry, Dinosaur. Okay, Collie River Rapids versus Kilimanjaro Safaris. Both of these rides have one major thing in common. Each of them promotes conservation and wildlife protection. They just do it in different ways. On Collie River Rapids, you're going to be riding a family river raft through a once thriving jungle that's been impacted by deforestation. And on Kilimanjaro Safaris, you're going to see dozens upon dozens of real live animals who call Animal Kingdom home, while your safari guide gives you facts about each species and informs you of ways you can help out our animal friends continue to thrive even when your vacation comes to an end. There used to be that much darker message attached to the early versions of Kilimanjaro Safaris. Yeah, you remember, like Baby Red and his dead mom, but that's a story for another day. Kilimanjaro Safaris is not only fun, but it is super educational. I love edutainment. I find myself learning something new each time and seeing something or someone new each time I ride as well. After all, animals are unpredictable, so you never know who's going to be out and wandering about to say hello. Plus, can we just say all those baby animals? Anyway, Kilimanjaro Safaris is also a long ride, clocks in at about 18 minutes or longer, depending on if an animal just so happens to mosey on out in front of your ride vehicle's path and decides not to leave. Again, these guys have all the free will. They're not afraid to show it off. Collie River Rapids, on the other hand, is a relatively short ride for a water ride. This one clocks in about 4 minutes, which isn't too shabby if you weren't looking to get super drenched in the first place, but it might also be disappointing if you waited a really long time outside for this one and you didn't wind up getting all that wet. There are way more thrills that you'll experience on Collie River Rapids than you'll get on Kilimanjaro Safaris. Not major ones, but there are dips and bumps and splashes that might be more thrilling than a straight up safari ride that's not going to give you nearly as much of an adrenaline rush. But in the end, the win has to go to Kilimanjaro Safaris. This ride captures the heart and soul of what Animal Kingdom is all about, the animals. Now, would you look at that? We've already made it to the semifinals. I told you Animal Kingdom doesn't have a whole lot of rides, but the rides they do have are about to take on some serious head-to-head battles in this next round. Before we get started with the next round, I got a little gift for you though. Hopefully it'll make up for any feelings that might get hurt in the semifinals, maybe. There's so much more to see and do in Animal Kingdom than the sum of its rides, which is why we've got a free Animal Kingdom quick guide that you can pick up right now by scanning the QR code you see on the screen, or if you're watching this tournament on your phone, going to disneyfoodblog.com/Animal Kingdom after this. And now we're moving on to the home stretch of our Disney World Ride Bracket Series. The semifinals. So here we've got Expedition Everest versus Flight of Passage. Here come the Pandora rides. So Flight of Passage is a flying theater attraction, but different from what you can expect from Soarin' over in Epcot. Instead of sitting upright, you'll be straddling your seat like a motorcycle. And these motorcycle-like seats are meant to feel like you're really riding on the back of your own Banshee during the ride. So you're going to feel vibrations and wing movement and even your Banshee breathing in and out. You'll also be wearing a pair of 3D glasses to help the effects on the screen pop and feel more like you're actually there inside this whole new realm of Pandora. So here's the downfall with all of that. While the motorcycle seating is really innovative, it's not always the most comfortable. Before the ride, your calves and back will be locked in place by restraints, which can feel awkward and too tight for some. Sometimes it feels a little bit claustrophobic for others. There is a test seat outside of the queue if you want to give these seats a test run before you commit. But as cool as it is to become one with your own Banshee during the ride, you might still prefer a standard coaster seat like the ones you'll find on Expedition Everest. The 3D effects of Flight of Passage are really cool, but if you're not seated toward the center of the screen, which is really a luck of the draw sort of thing, there is the chance that some of the 3D effects will look a bit off during your ride through, especially during the cave scene when the bioluminescence happens. And it's easy to see why some prefer Expedition Everest over Flight of Passage any day of the week. It is a coaster after all. It is absolutely theme park core, but many others out there are head over heels for the Avatar themed attraction, myself included. Now, Expedition Everest is one of the most unique coasters around, but you're not going to find a ride quite like Flight of Passage anywhere else. From the immersive queue to the multi-interactive pre-shows to the swelling score and the thrills and more, Flight of Passage is a #1 priority ride, as well as overall experience for most folks who come to visit Animal Kingdom. Winner, Flight of Passage. Next matchup, Navi River Journey versus Kilimanjaro Safaris. Okay, one Pandora ride has made it onto the finals, but will Navi River Journey be able to do the same when faced against a classic? Navi River Journey is a bioluminescent-style dark ride that uses screens and props to take you on a much more peaceful journey around Pandora's nighttime forest scene in a giant boat. This is also the ride where you're going to find one of the more impressive Disney animatronics out there, the shaman. Now look at her. I am still shocked this isn't just a really giant person who's been hired to be painted blue and sing the same song every day. Navi River Journey is popular. Just take a look at those lines if you need further proof for a boat ride. But for the wait time you might have to endure for this run, the boat ride itself is short. Navi River clocks in at about 4.5 minutes, so it's not like you blink and you're gonna miss it, but it does feel like the conclusion of this ride comes up way too quickly. And maybe that's better for your kids. After all, an 18+ minute ride on Kilimanjaro Safaris might make some kids a bit restless and ready to move on to the next thing. Plus, on Navi River Journey, you're getting a chance to see some really colorful and creative fantasy creatures straight out of Pandora. But is that really more compelling than seeing real live animals out on a savanna? Not to mention, the animals you see during Navi River Journey are presented through a series of screens. And while that's cool, the DFB team unanimously agrees that seeing a baby elephant play in puddles and watching giraffes munching on tree leaves and laughing at the goats jumping on roofs is way more worth waiting in line for. Winner, Kilimanjaro Safaris. Okay, it feels like we just got started with this competition and we are already at the end. We have got our finals, Flight of Passage versus Kilimanjaro Safaris. And this is the ride showdown that really got the DFB team amped up on who was most worthy to win it all, because for a while there, we were basically 50-50 on this one. Initially, 50% of our team chose Flight of Passage. Waiting in the Kilimanjaro Safaris queue can be quite a drag, especially on a hot afternoon, since the queue is mostly outside with only a few covered sections that can get pretty stuffy. Meanwhile, Flight of Passage's queue mainly takes place indoors and features numerous rooms, the most compelling of which, of course, is that research lab towards the tail end of it all. And it has mid-queue water refill stations and a bathroom, just in case you need a little extra relief in more than one way. While Kilimanjaro Safaris is informative, it doesn't quite tell a story like Flight of Passage manages to do. The plot of Flight of Passage has you getting linked to your own avatar and flying on the back of a banshee, but you'll also encounter a few dangerous challenges ahead. Don't worry, it's nothing your banshee can't handle. And it makes that epic sunset conclusion where you look out across the entire world of Pandora, all the sweeter to witness. Basically, a ride on Flight of Passage means that you're gonna be the star of your own ride through. It'll be hard not to shout out Sivako while you're rising to your own challenge. But the other 50% of our team chose Kilimanjaro Safaris. It's like we mentioned earlier, Kilimanjaro Safaris is the heart of what Animal Kingdom is all about. The animals, the conservation, the lessons, the edutainment. Yes, Flight of Passage also tells a story of the importance of conservation too. That's pretty much Animal Kingdom's whole message, that they want you to take away from all of this no matter where you go in the park. But the lesson has a bigger impact at Kilimanjaro when you're seeing these real live animals whose species have been the direct target of deforestation and poaching and pollution at the hands of humankind. So after days and days of duking it out, respectfully of course, we're passionate, but we're still friends at the end of the day, the DFB team finally came to a semi-understanding, and the votes went from 50-50 to 60-40. Thanks to its unique immersion, compelling story, and one-of-a-kind Imagineering, the winner of today's Animal Kingdom ride bracket, just squeaking by, is Flight of Passage. Now that we've determined the best ride in every single Disney World park, I've just got one question for you. Out of the rides that have won, which one do you think is the best of them all? If you haven't gotten a chance to watch the other ride bracket videos yet, do that first and then come back to this video to declare who you think is the ultimate in the comments. And don't forget to pick up our free Animal Kingdom quick guide over at disneyfoodblog.com/Animal Kingdom today. Thanks for listening, everyone, and thanks for watching. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.